Hello, this is the project proposal presentation for the Uber self-driving car human fatality. This is in the course Systems Engineering Management 521. My name is Ian Draney. This is being performed for Professor James Eastham, and today's date is October 21st, 2018. The agenda for this proposal is to present a problem statement, present potential solutions for that problem, propose an outline for the proposal, and provide a project schedule. The problem we have here is that an Uber self-driving car caused a human fatality. The automobile did have human supervision, however, the human nor the machine, the self-driving car, based on its detection algorithm, detected the human in time to avoid her and prevent a fatality on a public road. Some potential solutions for this problem in testing, not just for Uber, but for self-driving car technology in general on part of both traditional car manufacturers and technology companies involved in this market as well, is we start to hand the wheel over to machines, AI, etc., pun intended, that human driver as a supervisor, accountability needs to be held as a top priority. This isn't a sleeping on the job sort of occupation or task for a human to perform. Currently, we're not there yet in with our technology that we can let the machine operate completely independently. There needs to be a lot of testing. Off-road, on-track sort of testing off of the public roads. Other sort of testing suitable for machines is to watch recordings of driving scenarios, making decisions, incorporating AI and machine learning to not perfect, but to improve this technology and make it ready for public roads. It needs constant review of hardware, both traditional automobile hardware and its interaction or connectivity to more traditional computer technology devices, computers, processors, microcontrollers, onboard sensors, such as cameras, LiDAR, ultrasonic rangefinders, sensors appropriate for the task of sensing the surroundings of the automobile, especially, particularly when it's in motion, to avoid hazards, obstacles, and such to do its task as a self-driving car. Constant software review and updates to the cars, to the devices on board. The elimination of the elimination of false positives would make a safer environment, and also as a outstanding first priority is to avoid humans or avoid human casualties at all costs. This is the proposed outline of the project. Starting with an introduction, as any good presentation and or thesis would involve. Since this case does begin with Uber in particular, because they are the company responsible for the human fatality. It really starts with the company of them, how they started as a peer-to-peer ride-sharing company, which was new technology, or a new paradigm shift, if you will, beginning in 2009. Really disrupted the transportation industry, particularly traditional taxis, as folks in urban areas were accustomed to making at the time. Uber has since really expanded their services beyond just peer-to-peer ride sharing, and their involvement with the self-driving car, its research and testing. Issues that are addressed from the pedestrian death from Uber. We will begin this section by stating the causes of that, which over a year after the fact, there may be a little bit of finger pointing, some maybe rescinding of their original response, and that will come from the literature review. We'll take a look at the industry response from both new tech companies as well as traditional car manufacturers, Google, Apple, Tesla, GM, Ford. This further comes from literature review, cases, news stories. And we'll look at the impact, the costs involved with this problem. Economic, financial, how much money does it cost, not just from maybe a court case and a settlement, but how much money down the road, additional testing that really does become necessary from rules and regulations imposed after this tragedy. We'll look at a company timeline, for future development and even rollouts of self-driving cars to their fleet. We'll look at a market timeline. How are other companies in this space responding, planning to operate with the self-driving car for their purposes, whether it's for ride-sharing taxi services or more for the sale of automobiles to the public for privately owned self-driving cars. We'll probably, if it still fits in the scope of the paper, of the final documents presented, we'll take a look at public safety, state and federal rules and regulations for public road usage when it comes to self-driving cars powered by machine learning, AI, etc. Traffic facts and figures when it comes to accidents from both humans and autonomous vehicles, and political and societal awareness and repercussions of this technology. We'll take a look at the state of the market. You really ask the question or address the issue of the need for self-driving cars, the need when it comes to the consumer and both industrial applications, truck driving fleets, your daily delivery from Amazon Prime, your groceries. What is the outlook and the potential need when it comes to those applications? The adoption outlook. How fast will the market, both consumer and a business or industry, adopt the self-driving car technology for their purposes, and promoting this technology to the market, um, both with traditional auto manufacturers and new technology companies. Um, so proposing solutions, if you look to the right of the slide, there's human driver supervisor accountability, as is the case, especially in testing, since this is not prime time technology quite yet. Increased off-road track testing, a lot of the stuff we mentioned before as the solutions. Video recordings of driving scenarios, constant machine learning, and I say constant because computers don't have to sleep. There will always be data being phoned home, being sent to central server locations, reanalysis of data, primarily by machines, making control protocols, such like that under different scenarios. Obstacle avoidance, whether it be human or not, to make safer driving conditions on the road, especially as we approach a mixture of human-driven and machine-driven automobiles. We'll look at a hardware review, traditional automobile parts, how they get integrated with computers and microcontrollers and various sensors on the cars. We'll perform a software review, eliminating false positives, really still making the avoid humans at all costs the first priority, and potentially other software updates, policies, protocols, etc. We'll propose solutions or an analysis of the solutions that were just stated, their financial cost, the timeline and the costs involved with that for development and rolling out such technology, and other risks that could be involved with the solutions presented. And implementing these solutions, we propose new services, technology rollouts, constant performance analysis, maintenance of current manual services. Of course, speaking specifically about Uber, they're a business. They need to remain profitable. They need to remain profitable in their current operational state, to perform research and development of the self-driving cars, and maybe even present a timeline for obsolescence of their current model, moving to potentially a fully machine-driven fleet of cars for ride-sharing and their other services. We'll finish the final documents with a conclusion, future work, future looking, and of course we will include references to news articles, science journals, etc. Involved in the research of this project. Okay, this is the proposed project timeline, and we only have about a minute left here. So this is a Gantt chart for fall 2018, the full 11-week term. Of course, weeks 1 through 3, we had not yet proposed a project timeline, but as we had not discussed the project. Now that we're in the project, beginning of week 4, we can see where we're at. We're starting with the proposal, starting the literature review, reviewing Uber history. We'll get into the later portions of the project, such as the state of the market, proposed solutions, etc., until we finish the final documents at week 11. And this is kind of a redundant slide. Really, the header should have been changed as far as the final submittables or deliverables, that we will have a 20-minute recorded PowerPoint presentation and a final paper. And this is the conclusion of the presentation. Thank you very much, and just wanted to show that preview of something to come just within the last 6 months or so. Uber reportedly thinks its self-driving car killed someone because it decided not to swerve. So we will, of course, observe machine decision making as part of this project. Again, thank you very much, and have a great day.